Not My Star Trek. Section 31 director addresses concerns about new movie and its divisive organization. For more than half a century, Star Trek has thrived on a hopeful vision of the future, one where humanity outgrew its darkest impulses and embraced diplomacy, exploration, and unity. So when Paramount announced a Star Trek Section 31 movie, starring Michelle Yeoh reprising her role as Emperor Philippa Georgiou, it was met with both excitement and apprehension. The excitement came from Yeoh's star power and the prospect of exploring the darker corners of the Trek universe. The apprehension that one of the franchise's most controversial organizations, Section 31, would undermine the very ideals Star Trek has always stood for. The film's director has finally addressed these concerns, directly engaging with the passionate chorus of fans shouting, "Not my Star Trek." Why Section 31 is so divisive? Section 31 first appeared in Star Trek Deep Space Nine as a clandestine organization working within Starfleet but outside its official control. Their mandate: protect the Federation at any cost. Unlike Starfleet's exploratory, idealistic mission, Section 31 embodied realpolitik, espionage, and morally gray tactics. For some fans, this edition enriched the Trek canon, offering a necessary counterbalance to utopian optimism. It gave the stories grit, showing that even a perfect society has shadows. For others, however, Section 31 betrayed Gene Roddenberry's vision. If the Federation's bright future still relied on secret assassinations, biological warfare, and manipulation, then was it ever truly utopia? With Section 31 now getting its own feature film, those tensions have only sharpened. The director's response: Star Trek has always evolved. At a recent press event, the Section 31 director, whose name Paramount has been keeping tightly under wraps until the official fall marketing campaign, addressed the criticism head on. "I've heard the concerns. I've read the comments, the tweets, the message boards," they admitted. "A lot of fans are saying Section 31 isn't Star Trek. This is too dark. It undermines the ideals. But I think Star Trek has always evolved. Every generation brings its own perspective on what humanity's challenges are. Section 31 isn't here to erase Roddenberry's vision. It's here to interrogate it." The director emphasized that the film isn't about glorifying the shadowy organization, but rather questioning its existence. "We're not asking the audience to root for Section 31's methods," they explained. "We're asking them to wrestle with the uncomfortable reality that even utopias have cracks." That tension is the story. Michelle Yeoh's Georgiou, from villain to anti-hero. Another reason the movie is drawing buzz is Michelle Yeoh's return. As Emperor Philippa Georgiou from the Mirror Universe, Yeoh's character is no stranger to moral ambiguity. Yet during her time on Star Trek Discovery, she began a path of reluctant redemption. The director sees Georgiou as the perfect lens through which to explore Section 31. She comes from the Mirror Universe, where power and survival were everything. Now she's thrust into the Federation, where ideals matter. She's caught between two extremes, and that's the conflict we're dramatizing. Rather than portraying Section 31 as heroes, the film seems poised to use Georgiou's outsider perspective to critique the organization from within. Fans worried that the movie might glorify Starfleet's secret police may find some reassurance here. Not my Star Trek, but maybe it is. It's worth remembering that every era of Star Trek has faced its "not my Trek" moment. When the Next Generation launched, original fans balked at the show without Kirk and Spock. Deep Space Nine was derided for being too dark and too stationary compared to the optimism of the Enterprise. Even Discovery and Strange New Worlds have weathered accusations of betraying canon or straying too far from Roddenberry's original ethos. Section may 31st be the latest lightning rod, but controversy has always been part of Trek's evolution. The director framed it this way: if fans are debating whether this story belongs in Star Trek, then we're doing something right. Because Star Trek has never been about easy answers. It's about asking the hardest questions. The balance between hope and realism. The challenge, of course, lies in tone. Too much cynicism risks alienating fans who turn to Star Trek for hope. Too much optimism risks trivializing the darker themes Section 31 naturally embodies. The director insists the film aims for balance. The Federation is still the Federation, they said. This story doesn't negate its ideals. If anything, it reaffirms why those ideals matter. By confronting the shadows, we better understand the light. What this means for Star Trek's future. If successful, Section 31 could open the door for more experimental Star Trek stories. Instead of always centering on starships and exploration, Paramount might lean further into political thrillers, espionage dramas, and morally complex character studies. But there's also risk. If the movie tips too far into darkness, it could fracture the